And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fleming Film Talk with me, Robbie Fleming. Joining me, as always, is Justin Doyle, and we have a special guest making his second time on the show, but his first time ever meeting Justin. It's Josh Hickey, one of my favorite YouTubers.
Hey, Josh.
Yes. How
Nice
are
to
you
meet
guys
you.
today?
Good. Yeah, gotta talk about the video game news. I spent over a month watching these, and some of these were hard to get through. So just
Yes.
to find the good
Yeah.
ones. So yeah.
Yes. Justin, would you like to explain what we're talking about today?
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like we have a fan of another medium that's other than movies, and that is video games. So, what we are doing today is we're talking video games in movies. They could be based on video games or about video games, but something that is related to the topic. So, we each are counting down our top 5 favorite movies about video games.
And
Yes.
a lot,
Yes.
a lot of these, a lot of these I haven't played the games they're based on. I just read like just as the movie. So I don't go, oh, well, that wasn't a faithful adaptation. Did I enjoy it as a movie? So
Definitely.
Nice.
We're doing this
there's
because
like maybe 3 on here where I've actually played the game they're based on. So
yeah. Yeah, so we're doing these because Super Mario comes out on Wednesday,
yeah,
and I can't wait for that movie, and I'm pretty sure you guys are all excited about it too.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Since Josh is the special guest, we'll let him read out his number 5, and then we'll go to you and then me.
Great.
Some of these might be a bit of a hot take. So just some of these might be
Okay, that's fine. Well, I moan about Justin's opinions a lot.
Oh,
Rampage
yeah.
with Wade Johnson.
Rampage?
Rampage, yeah.
Okay.
That's your number 5?
It makes absolutely no sense. The plot is bonkers, but it is fun. It's just a monster movie. I mean, it's a flying wolf, a giant alligator, and a giant gorilla fighting each other. It's a monster movie. Like it's fun. I like that. I just eat that stuff up. I don't care if the plot makes like 0 sense.
Well, yeah, it's based off of a video game, right?
Yeah, from the 80s.
Yeah, this was like an arcade game.
Yeah, in fact, Wreck-It Ralph, the arcade game Wreck-It Ralph, that was inspired by Rampage. They kind of spoofed that a little bit. It's like that was with Donkey Kong. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like a lizard and a werewolf and a monkey, and
Yeah.
they break down buildings, and that's how you score your points.
Yeah, and they gave it a plot, which was basically they decided to fuse the DNA of 2 animals together, and then the monkeys were. It's kind of like Planet of the Apes as well, where they had like the apes going crazy because of chemicals in the water or something. It was weird. It's a weird plot, and it makes no sense, but it's fun. So,
Yeah,
Nice.
they got infected with a pathogen, and now they are trying to destroy Chicago.
yeah. And what disappoints me though is the main gorilla's name is George, and he goes crazy, and there's not a single joke about him being named Furious George. Missed opportunity, and it would have fit in a movie like that because there's so many like cheesy one-liners in that, and also it's got Walton Goggins in it as the villain as well.
Legend.
Yeah,
Yeah, Naomi Harris is in this movie, who I love,
yeah,
love, love. Also, Jake Lacey and Joe Manganiello, Jack Quaid, who's really popular lately because of
Yes.
no, not Walton
The
Goggins.
Boys.
I can't remember. Was it Walton Goggins' movie or was it the other Walking Dead actor that was Negan from
Jeffrey
Walking Dead?
Dean Morgan. Jeffrey
I
Dean
Yeah,
love
Morgan.
Jeffrey D. Morgan. Love Jeffrey D. Morgan.
yeah, he's the villain in this. And he hands it up in the best way as well, honestly. Because he knows the movie's and is stupid, but he's having to put up with it.
Yes, definitely. Do you have this one on your list as well, Justin?
I do not.
No, neither do I because I've only seen parts of it. I might have to watch the full movie to get a
Yeah.
full opinion of it, but from
It
what I
takes a
saw,
while to
I
get
wasn't
into.
impressed.
Nothing really happens until about halfway through, so the pacing a little off.
This is the same director that did San Andreas, which is another rock movie. Also,
Yeah.
Journey to the Mysterious Island, which is another rock movie.
He likes to work with them, doesn't he?
Yeah. And then Cats and Dogs, The Revenge of Kitty Galore, 2010.
That was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid, but I'm like, okay. I still kind of enjoy it, but it's not like I mean, like when I was a kid, I thought it was like the best movie ever, but not anymore.
No, one of my favourite films growing up was Son of the Mask, and I've not
Oh,
seen it in years,
oh my
but I've
gosh.
seen clips and it looks horrendous now.
Oh man, have you seen Nostalgia Critic's review on that?
No, yes, I have. He makes a
Literally
funny.
a movie from hell. That's so funny. This movie was made in hell. That's how bad it is.
Great. Yeah, this movie came out in 2018. Has a 6.1 on IMDb. The budget for it was 120 million. Worldwide gross 428 million dollars. So it definitely made its money back. Sitting at 51% on Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience likes it more with 72%.
That's still not great.
Not bad though.
Yeah, especially for video game movies. Some of these are really well. It's interesting. 2018 was a good year for video games because we got the Tomb Raider movie with Alicia Vikander, and then we got Rampage, and then we got Ready Player One, all in the same year. So,
Rob, was there any sort of was there movies that were not available to this category?
I'm not sure.
Okay, but you didn't tell us that those like this movie doesn't count, this movie doesn't count.
Yeah. Well, Josh and he told me today that Scott Pilgrim didn't count.
oh yeah, because that's not based on a game. That's based on a comic, and the video game part of it is just the aesthetic of the film, but it's not actually based on a game. They made it into a game later, but it started off as a comic. It has nothing to do with video games. That's just a storytelling plot device aesthetic to make it look interesting. So I didn't count it.
Yes.
Okay, well, I see what you're saying, but it does play in the styling of a video game.
Yeah,
and it did come up on some lists.
yeah, it's just fantasy though. It's not really. I wouldn't consider it because it's not based on one. It doesn't take place in the world of one, and it's based on a comic anyway. So
Yeah. I kind of see Josh's point.
So then what about Ready Player One?
That counts.
The majority of that takes place inside the world of the game or the world of the internet because there's a lot of racing and that I would say because a lot of everything takes place on a VR headset. So I would say
it's not a real game though. It's a made up game, right?
Yeah. So that counts.
The whole world revolves around the stakes.
Counts.
Like the whole
Okay.
the stakes are the villain trying to buy the video game company so he can take over. So the whole battle, the whole final battle takes place on a big MMORPG. So that's why it mattered.
Well, fantastic, because Ready Player One is my number 5.
That's on an honorable mention. So I divided it as a list of movies that are based on games and then ones that are not based on games, but the game focuses on, like Tron, for example. That's an honorable mentions list. So that's not the main list.
Yeah, but the movie is in a video game. He puts on, goggles to make sure that he can play it, and
that's on my list.
Yeah, directed by Mr. Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
This is a virtual reality game called the Oasis, and now they need to go find this Easter egg inside the world, and we have Mr. Ty Sheridan as the lead trying to do that. And my girls love this movie.
Yeah.
Also starring Olivia Cook and Lena Waithe, Ben Mendelsohn. Of course, if it's girls, come on. Of course, if it's a Spielberg movie, you got to throw in some Mark Rylance, especially nowadays. But Simon Pegg is in there.
Yeah.
And I just had a really good time with this movie. It is a lot of fun, based on a book, but it's all video games.
I don't have a problem with that though. Like I get why, because the book mentions so many things, but of course with copyright and trademarks, they have to get permission to use everything, and they probably couldn't. So they had to kind of work with what they had. Since the Warner Brothers movie, why pay other studios to license out characters when you can just use your own? It's like Space Jam 2, but like the good version of Space Jam 2.
Literally.
Oh, way better.
Way better.
But yeah, I just had a ton of fun. I love the world before they go into the world. It's just really interesting and, sort of end of days, end of times, living situation.
Most of the streets were shot in Birmingham in the UK.
Beautiful. I just really like the whole structure of it all and the idea of it. And Mr. Steven Spielberg definitely knows how to adapt.
He does.
Movies from.
when I read the book, I was like, there's two directors that need this, Spielberg or Abrams. And what's funny is that when I read the book, I was like, it was kind of around the time that I finished seeing Rogue One. I was like, Ben Mendelsohn would be good as the villain if they make this into a movie, and yeah, they did. So apparently we think alike.
Ben Mendelsohn's in that movie, isn't he?
Yeah, he just said that as a villain,
yeah.
Best
Do you guys like this movie?
Yes.
Yeah, it's on my honorable mentions list. It's pretty high.
It's in my list, so I'll talk about my opinion in a bit.
Okay. Let's hear number 5.
Number 5 was an awesome action movie I saw last year. Had a great time watching it in cinema. I've only played a few of the games, but I love this character and I love the adventures he goes on. It's Nathan Drake.
Yes.
And it's
That's
Uncharted.
on the list, though it is quite a bit higher than number 5, but it's on the list. So.
Nice.
Let's hear about it.
So, Tom Holland plays Nathan Drake, who's trying to find his brother, or I think it's a treasure his brother was trying to find.
Yeah.
And he teams up with Mark Wahlberg, and they go against Antonio Banderas to search for the treasure. And obviously, they meet this young girl helping him, but she betrays them. And Antonio Banderas has this woman working with him as well to help him find the treasure, but she betrays him. So it's all about betrayals and adventure. But they find the treasure, and everybody is happy at the end. And what I love about this movie is the stunts. I know it's probably all on green screen and stuff, but I really like how they're performed in the movie, and like picturing like with the stunt team and the special effects. It must have been really fun filming this movie. And I think even though they look nothing like the characters of the game, I think Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg make an excellent duo. And Antonio Banderas, who is one of my all-time favorites, plays a fantastic villain who's like fun and energetic, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in the new Indiana Jones films. So he's finally make him a Tomb Raider villain or a character, and he can go on these cool adventures with these characters.
So you bring up an interesting point about how it doesn't fit. See, I don't think that's a valid criticism. Like, I get that people think that Tom Holland was miscast, but I look at it as kind of like the TV show Young Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
This isn't a sequel movie. Yeah. It is an origin story movie. It is based on the games in the sense that the company that owns the games, which is Sony, made it into a movie. But I see this as more of a prequel that's also set in an alternate timeline, because in the second game, you meet the character Chloe as the character, and it's clear that they have some sort of history together, because Chloe's like really mad at Nathan. But this is that movie that explains that backstory, so I look at it as that. It works better as that rather than as a straight up adaptation, because it also doesn't work as an adaptation, because if you look at it that way, then there's a lot of events that happen in the games that happen the exact same way in the movie. They've been on a flying pirate ship twice. Like, there's a lot of stuff that they were scenes taken directly from the game, especially the opening scene where he's on the plane avoiding the cars. That's like the opening scene of, I think, the second or third game. So, like, it's happened the exact same way twice. That doesn't work. But if you look at it as an alternate universe movie that is also a prequel, it works a lot better. So.
One of the only video games that I've actually played of ones that, well, maybe, that, because I'm not a huge video gamer, but I love Uncharted. It's a lot of fun.
They were free on PS Plus during 2020, so I was able to get all of them for free, and I played through them pretty quickly. So.
I take it you're like me, Justin, who just plays video games every now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, love Uncharted. I love Nathan Drake. This movie was a lot of fun. I don't care about not sticking with the story, with what it actually is, because if you put them separate, like they're just titled the same, and they're both great, fun adventures.
It's the same director as the first Venom movie, as well.
Yes.
Yeah, Venom.
He's a good director. The first Zombieland,
Gangster Squad, which I enjoyed.
There's 30 Seconds or Less. That's the one I was thinking of. Yes. And he's making the third Now You See Me.
Oh boy, because we all want that.
I do. The first one's fantastic, and the second one wasn't that good.
It exists.
Why
Yeah,
didn't they call it?
it exists. It just exists.
Why didn't they call it Now You Don't?
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Uncharted came out in 2022. This is a pandemic time. Still did pretty well. Budget of $120 million. Worldwide gross is 401.2, 6.3 on IMDb. Rotten Tomatoes, 41%. Audience score, loving it with 90.
There's the same thing with Venom. Venom got like a 30 or something like that, but then the audience score was pretty high with that one too. So
I love the first Venom.
yeah, I mean, it got slaughtered by the critics when it came out. So
Yeah, I don't like Venom. I don't like Venom 2.
yeah, poor Ruben Fleischer. You just can't catch a break. The critics just hate him. So.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got for your number 4, Josh?
Detective Pikachu.
Yay! Great choice.
Yeah.
Tell us about the movie.
Yeah, so Ryan Reynolds voicing Pikachu. Now keep in mind, I know little to nothing about Pokemon. I just saw this because Ryan Reynolds voicing Pikachu. That's the only selling point for me. And that being interesting, but when you think about it though, it's literally just Roger Rabbit mixed with Zootopia. Because you have this world
I've
of all
never
the
looked at it that way
yeah,
before, but
with the animated
good point.
character solving a mystery, and you have the except instead of a human detective teaming up with the cartoon, it's the cartoon detective teaming up with the human to solve a disappearance, and then I don't want to like spoiler alert for the twist of the movie, but it came out 4 years ago. Basically, the villain's plan is very similar to Judge Doom for Roger Rabbit. It has like almost the exact same villain plot. And then you have like the Zootopia element of where the predators are going crazy because of a certain chemical. You have all the Pokemon going crazy because of a certain chemical. And what's funny is watching it the other day, I forgot that Ant-Man's daughter from Quantumania was in this movie as the reporter. It's like, oh, she was in this, wasn't she? So, yeah, I think it's a fun movie and it's a fun time. And it works even if you don't watch Pokemon because they do explain a lot about how it works. Like, this is this Pokemon and this is their power and this is the rules of how the world works. It's still very accessible even if you're not a Pokemon fan. It's good. And the animation is top notch too. There's so many textures, like Pikachu's fur is very well animated. It looks very soft. Then we have the turtle one that looks very smooth and scaly. There's a lot of so much detail and animation put into this movie.
I love Pokemon.
It's based off a TV show, though, isn't it?
I think the games came out before the animated.
Yeah.
There was video games before the TV show?
Yeah. Well, it came out around the same time. And then they did the Detective Pikachu actual game, which has nothing to do with the show. And they made that movie based off of the Detective Pikachu game.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Stars Justice Smith, who was recently in a movie I recently watched, Dungeons and Dragons, and you should check out Josh's review on that movie because his review is very accurate.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Also, Ryan Reynolds as the voice of Pikachu.
Yes.
Bill Nye's in there. Catherine Newton, Ken Watanabe,
Amazing.
Rita Ora.
Amazing.
Yeah, this was fun. This is a fun movie. I don't know anything about this creature, but I enjoyed the movie, and I know that it's a good character to pick on Smash Brothers Pikachu.
Oh yeah. We had a McDonald's where I lived. We used to have video consoles in the McDonald's, and one of them had Smash Brothers, the other one had Spyro, and then one of them occasionally worked and they had some sort of Nickelodeon game that I can't remember. But I would always play Smash Brothers one, and I would always choose Pikachu. So.
Same director as Goosebumps, Gulliver's Travels, with both have Jack Black in it. Monsters vs. Aliens, and Shark Tale.
Ooh.
Oh. How did you go from doing Shark Tale to Monsters vs. Aliens? Because there's such a huge change of quality between those. Ooh.
I have a guilty pleasure for Shark Tale because I grew up with it. Please forgive me, guys. I know the animation isn't good, but it's entertaining. It's entertaining. I just find it entertaining.
You know why I like it.
It was last place on my DreamWorks ranking. Out of 42 movies, it was last place. That is a new level of bad.
On DreamWorks rankings?
I'm going to do a checking that I did last year, yeah.
I think I'd still say I still think Ants is the weakest DreamWorks film I've seen.
Yeah, it was.
Well, the animation in that is a little. It's cool, but what they can do now is just way more.
Yeah.
To be
Intense.
fair, it's about 20 years ago.
$150 million budget for Detective Pikachu. Overall worldwide gross is 449.7, so it did great. Sitting at 6.5 on IMDb. Rotten Tomatoes 68% again. The audience loving it was 79.
That's decent. And they keep saying they're going to do a sequel, but they keep saying it and they're not. They keep changing their mind. So,
Oh, I'm sure they will. I mean, this
yeah.
because of the game as the handheld game on your phone too, it became even more popular.
Pokemon Go. Yeah.
They should have a live action Ash Ketchum, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go with my number 4. You know, I'm older than you guys, so I have a lot of love for certain movies because they were around when I was a kid, and this one is just that. Is it good? No. But I had a blast, and I loved it when I was a kid because I loved the video game. Video game was awesome. We played at the arcade. It finally came out on, Nintendo and stuff. So we were able to play it. And then it became a 1994 film, and it's called Street Fighter.
All right, okay, this is better than I thought you were going to say. No, Justin. When Kylie Minogue is in a movie, that's all you watch it for.
It's not in my top 5, but I still really like it because everyone knows that it's stupid. And they're kind of in on the joke that it's stupid.
And Kylie Minogue's a bonus.
They just announced today they're doing another one.
But is it going to continue with the Chun-Li story?
It's a remake, so.
Well, I'm into it. I love this. I was, just a huge fan, and of Mortal Kombat as well. But Street Fighter just was a little more accessible. Like regular guys beating up, instead of having karate moves and stuff. But Jean-Claude Van Damme was huge in the 90s and the late 80s. But Raul Julia, who was, part of the Addams Family movie, was so good. Yeah, and he's so good as the villain. But Kylie Minogue is in there. And then just a bunch of people who we know the names, but we don't see them around anymore. Like Wes Studi, he's the Native American actor. Ming-Na Wen was Chun-Li. What's
she's in a lot of sex show, though. Yeah, because she was in Book of Boba Fett. She's Fennec Shen. And then she was also Agent May in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So she's still.
The one that voices Mulan.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
Aha.
She's brilliant.
That's it. He's kind of miscast, though, because you have the guy from America who's so patriotic. He has the American flag tattooed on his biceps. Who do they get to play him? Jean-Claude Van Damme. You can't get any more French than that. And then we get a Mexican to play a Russian guy. Okay. They work, but it's miscast. But
oh yeah, very highly miscast all around.
It is a fun movie.
This is the only thing. This is the only thing that this person has directed, but it was written a bunch of stuff. He wrote Die Hard and The Running Man, Commando, 48 Hours, Die Hard 2, and then we get into some fun ones. The Flintstones, Judge Dredd.
He sounds like my kind of guy.
Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life.
Oh.
Okay. He must have been on some kind of acid when he wrote that.
He likes video games.
In the first 5 minutes, let's have her punch a shark, and it only gets more punches from there. That one was,
Oh my gosh. There's some trivia here for this. It says that Jean-Claude Van Damme revealed later that during filming, he had a drug problem doing $10,000 worth of cocaine a week and an affair with Kylie Minogue
Oh man.
during this film. But Jean-Claude Van Damme was awesome in the movie. He's always great.
How Kylie Minogue's a national treasure here? How has that not been popularized that she's had a fling with Jean-Claude Van Damme? Normally, Kylie's flings are well-known stuff.
I'm sure it was during the time. $35 million budget, worldwide gross $99 million. It worked out pretty well for them in 1994. 4.0 on IMDb. Listen to this though. 11% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh,
It's not that bad.
11%. Doesn't even come up. I had to Google
Oh,
it.
geez.
So there you go. Street Fighter. It's not a good film, but
What
it's
was the
done
audience
fun.
rating?
It doesn't have it. I searched it on IMDb or on Rotten Tomatoes. It doesn't come up.
Wow.
Oh, here we go. I found it. But yeah, I just Googled it to make sure that I'd have something. But 20% audience score.
Oh,
It's not that bad of a film.
yeah, it's fun.
It's fun,
It's
yeah.
fun. Yeah.
It's a fun movie. Like, yeah.
All right, Rob, number 4.
All right, my number 4 isn't based on a well-known video game. It's in somebody's mind. It also stars Ryan Reynolds, and it's a film that really surprised me because of how much fun it is. And it's Free Guy.
Yeah, that's on my honorable mentions list. It's pretty close. It's not number 1, but it's pretty close. So
Nice.
Tell us about Free Guy.
So this is like Ready Player One, where it's all a virtual reality game, but Guy is one of the non-playable characters. He works at the bank, and one day he's in the bank, and this robbery happens, and the player drops their glasses, and he puts on the glasses, and he becomes a super intelligent character who becomes his own player. And there's a really good B plot involving Jodie Comer and Thingy from Stranger Things. We're trying to take down Free Guy's creator, played by Taika Waititi, who fantastically steals the show in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And they try and expose him and save Free Guy and Guy himself.
It's a great movie. It has a lot of the same ideas as Tron, where it's like the users have more power over the programs. They kind of did that, but it's done in a less philosophical, pretentious way. So
Yeah. But I love Jodie Comer and I love Taika Waititi and them to make this movie for me.
yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Little Rel Howery's in this movie. Channing
Brilliant.
Tatum.
Brilliant.
And then this is the same director, Sean Levy.
He's done a ton of stuff.
Yeah. Let's see.
He's only be doing Deadpool 3, which I'm really looking forward to, and I think he'll make it really good.
He did the Adam Project, also with Ryan Reynolds.
Great film.
Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb, This Is Where I Leave You, Date Night, the other 2 Night at the Museums.
Nice.
He's done well. Yeah, Cheaper by the Dozen, Big Fat Liar. And then
I've literally seen most of his movies. Wow.
Yeah.
The Internship's really good.
It's fun. Yeah. This movie was okay. It was I disliked Jodie Comer in this movie so much, but then loved her in one of my favorite movies of that same year. Yeah, so it's crazy how I can dislike somebody so much in one movie and then absolutely love them more than anything in the next. But that is acting. But yeah, Little Rel Howery's fun. I just think is maybe a little over the top for Ryan Reynolds. And it does get very, very over the top, especially when we see Ryan Reynolds in a bodysuit. But yeah, it's interesting, and it is a fun little play on video games, and it's sweet.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
My only real issue with it was they kind of had. There's a couple issues, but one, the cameos from gamer YouTubers, like yeah, they're popular now when the movie came out, but how relevant is I forget the guy's name, the Irish gamer YouTuber. You know, yeah, how popular are they going to be in 20 years, right? The movie's not going to age well because of that aspect. And the other thing is a lot of the gamer stereotypes. It seems like they're going for the gamers are the losers.
Oh, I know who you're on about now, Josh. Jacksepticeye, the YouTuber.
Stereotype. Yeah, like I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
who you're on about. Jacksepticeye.
Yeah, yeah, he's in this. So like, can we move past that stereotype though that gamers are like losers? Like, okay. I don't know. I feel like we should move past that at this point. There's so many different people, especially because it is such a big industry now, and all types of people play them. Can we move past that idea? That was something I did not care for. But yeah, it is a fun movie. Also, a lot of shoved in Disney IP. You can tell this is one of the first movies they released after they bought Fox. There's so much like Marvel and Star Wars and everything else that they own shoved into this movie. So.
Yeah, still did really well. 7.1 on IMDb. Budget of 120 million. Worldwide gross 331.5. Did really well. 80% on Rotten Tomatoes and 94% for the audience.
Wow, that is a drastic difference.
Nice.
I find
All right, Josh.
I find the irony though of Taika Waititi's villain plan being he's just going to keep making sequels to everything, and now Disney announced that they're doing a sequel to that. So like, you clearly missed the point of your own movie. So this is the same company they're calling it out. Yeah, this is the same people they literally just announced a live action remake of Moana today. I'm like, you clearly missed the point.
We're not looking forward to that.
Yeah.
They've run out of ideas officially.
And it has the same cast too. Like they're all
No. If they remade Moana in live action, it should be Jason Momoa because he has the hair and the beard.
Yeah. Seriously, yeah. Number 3 is the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Didn't care too much for the second one, but the first one's good. So.
What was it?
Sonic, the first one.
Number 3 is
Sonic. Yeah. Good one.
Yeah, didn't care too much for the second one, but I thought the first one was pretty good, though.
I'm the exact opposite, and I'll explain why in a bit.
Yeah.
So tell us about Sonic.
Yeah, it's got I forget Jason Marsden in it. So it's another one of those live action hybrid things. But I thought Jim Carrey was really good as Eggman in this. So that was actually really good casting. The reason I prefer this over the second one though is because yes, the second one does delve a lot more into the lore of the Chaos Emeralds and everything, and you have Tails and you have Shadow the Hedgehog, and it does delve a lot more into the lore again. But the pacing of the second one is so bad because you have this other subplot about Jason Marsden's wedding, and it slogs so much. And then you don't have time to explain the lore of the Chaos Emeralds or anything. We do have time for Sonic and Tails to do a dance battle for 10 minutes. Like, I don't know. There's so much fat in that movie that they could have trimmed out. The first one is paced a lot better. It has a much more linear story, which is why I prefer the first one slightly more. So.
I completely agree. The second one had just too much fat and wasn't as much fun as the first.
Yeah.
I disagree.
The first one, Ben Schwartz did a great job. James Marsden's in this, and Jim Carrey, Tika Sumpter, Adam Pally.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the second movie with James Marsden and a CGI character, isn't it?
Hop.
Third, Enchanted. He has a squirrel.
He was in Hop.
Yeah, that's what he's referred to when I said that it was also Enchanted because the squirrel.
Yeah, well, same director.
As Hop?
As the first and second one, Sonic the Hedgehog, same director.
How's there such a drastic difference between the two, man?
That's pretty much it for him.
Yeah. Is he doing the third one?
Possibly.
Okay. It's funny. 'Cause the
But
third one, as of now, the third one's coming out the same as Avatar 2, or as Avatar 3. So it'll be the battle of the movies with blue aliens.
speaking of video games, Avatar 2 should count because that looked like a video game.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Jim Carrey's my favorite actor, so I was in love with this, and I loved his performance. It seemed like he was finally having fun again.
Yeah, he's great.
And yeah, did pretty well. Box office.
Is Sonic your favorite Jim Carrey film, Josh?
I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of them, and some of them can get really annoying, but it's one of the better ones he's done. So
Yeah.
$85 million budget. Worldwide gross is 319.7.
and it came out right before the world shut down for a year and a half, so that's not too shabby. All things considered.
Yeah.
It looks like a month
That
after
is-
it came out, so
That is very, very true. 64% on Rotten Tomatoes, 93% audience score. Loving it.
yeah.
All right, what are you loving at number 3, Rob?
Oh, my number 3. Was that your number 3 as well, Justin?
Sonic's
Oh.
my favorite.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, then I guess it's my number 3.
Yeah.
Again, my number 3. Not a good movie.
I know what
But-
you're going to say.
There are
but
very
boy,
few
did
good movies. There are fun ones though.
Boy, did I have a good time with this movie. Obsessed with it. And then when it came out on VHS, would watch it over and over again. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Based off of probably one of the most popular games ever. Ever. So popular that they're making a whole new movie that comes out just this week. And it's Super Mario Bros.
It has nothing to do with the game at all, though.
What is it based off of?
It's Mario, but it's Mario in name only. It's completely different movie on it. Like,
Well,
He's
it
Mario
did
and-
create the canon of their last names are Mario.
Yeah.
Mario.
so stupid.
Bob
Mario
Hoskins
and
in this
Luigi
movie
Mario.
as Mario. John Leguizamo's in this movie as Luigi Mario. Dennis Hopper's in it as King Koopa. And then we have Samantha Mathis, who was super popular back then. But yeah, we have great villains and great prosthetic makeup.
Aunt Petunia from Harry Potter as well.
It's wrong
Oh,
what they say.
Yeah,
Justin.
Fiona Shaw.
Yeah.
They say Americans don't get sarcasm, but they're wrong. They do, and Justin's being sarcastic right now
About what?
about how good this movie is.
I didn't say it was good. I started off by saying it's a bad movie. It's a bad movie.
It's in last place on my video game movie ranking that I'm doing. Keep in mind, there's almost 40 movies on that list, and it's in last place. That is impressive.
Well, what's great about movies is that it's in the eye of the beholder.
Oh,
So
definitely.
I'm sure your number 1 is somebody else's 20th. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, this movie is just ridiculous and bonkers, but it is all we had, and I loved it. John Leguizamo, this is like the first time of seeing him in any movie. Bob Hoskins, of course, from Who Framed Roger Rabbit at that
Legend.
point. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was directed by 2 people though, and they didn't do much else that's not movies. They're all shorts and TV shows and music videos. DOA, that's a movie. You guys heard of that one?
It's the same director as that one?
It's Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan.
Oh, different DOA then. Never mind. That's not what I was thinking. There is a video game movie called DOA.
No, yeah, this is a
Okay.
late 80s movie.
Okay, yeah, way different then. That one came out in like 2004. So.
But yeah, if you guys haven't seen this movie, you should check it out. It is a riot. And there is a Yoshi.
My friend says he's going to bring it over one night so I can see how bad it is.
There you go. There is a Yoshi in the movie. which Yoshi's the best character ever. We see Toad, but just not the Toad that you all know and love.
Yeah, Toad looks like the dinosaur in this.
No
for some reason.
Princess Peach, though.
No, she's Daisy in this one.
Yeah.
48 million.
There is actually a Princess Daisy in the universe anyway, so that's fine.
Well, yeah, I mean, this movie is in the universe. Duh. $48 million budget, however, 20 million worldwide gross. So it did not do well at all. 4.1 on IMDb, which was higher than Street Fighter. However, sitting at 29% on Rotten Tomatoes and 29% audience score.
They agree on something for interesting.
So it's better. It's better than Street Fighter.
Okay. If it's better than Street Fighter, it sounds like when my friend comes over with the DVD, I'm in for the time of my life.
Oh my word.
Boom.
It's not better than Street Fighter. It's almost unwatchable. Unwatchable. This one's not unwatchable.
So, my number 3 is going back to Justin's number 5 with Ready Player One.
Sweet.
Yes, Steven Spielberg has made a lot of good and diverse movies, and this one felt like his most unique one. I can tell the man probably likes video games. So yeah, this is the second time I was introduced to Ty Sheridan. I love Olivia Cook because I watched her in Bates Motel. Ben Mendelsohn, what's his name? Not so much obviously TJ Miller, but Simon Pegg, Mark Rylance, all fantastic. But what I like about this movie is they reference a lot of stuff in this. And I'm going to say this for the record, I was glad I saw The Shining before I watched this one.
I'm glad I saw this one in, well, it's not IMAX, but it's my theater's cheaper alternative to the IMAX.
I saw this movie where I work, but before I worked there.
Yeah. But as soon as that race car scene started up, I was like, I'm glad I paid the extra $3 to pay for the premium format screen on this, because this is huge. This is awesome. So
it's a great film.
yeah.
Definitely. And Spielberg, I think he doesn't have John Williams, but does he have Jonas and Michael? Alan Silvestri did the music, the bloke who did the Back to the Future and Forrest Gump score.
So many other ones too. Did a lot of other ones too.
Yeah.
Okay. Nominated for 1 Oscar, Best Visual Effects, did not win.
Yeah.
7.4 on IMDb. Budget of 175 million. Worldwide gross is 592 million. Might be the most so far. 72% on Rotten Tomatoes with 77% audience score.
Nice. And Janice was cinematographer, and Michael co-edited it with Sarah, the other one who edited The Fabelmans.
Nice.
Yeah, so sadly John was missed, but I'm sure he was doing his own thing.
What did John Williams do in 2018 that was a different obligation? Oh, no, I was going to say, no Star Wars movies have any scores. I don't know what he could have been scoring that year.
I don't.
Was he busy with something that year? I don't know.
Or must have took a year off.
Yeah. Last Jedi. Oh, wait, maybe he was busy with Rise of Skywalker. That may have been what it was.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2.
Uncharted.
Yay.
Oh, sorry. We went over all this stuff. We should have waited.
Yeah.
Tell us about Uncharted.
Well, we already did. It's Indiana Jones, but same vibes.
But you like this more than your other 3.
Yeah. My other 3. Well, this is number 2. Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes,
Did you see it in theaters or did you wait for
I
Netflix?
did. You'll be wicked. Actually went as Nathan Drake. Actually, cosplayed Nathan Drake. Like about a special.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's amazing. I don't know why people hate it. Like, do you have a criticism for it other than Tom Holland was miscast? If that's your only criticism,
More. I don't know if Cody were here. I think he would have a lot more to moan about it because it was like in his bottom
oh
10.
man,
That and Where the Crawdads Sing, I think, are the two films that he's been kind of harsh on because they're not that bad, but they're not great.
yeah, that one was weird just because of how open ended the ending was. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I thought this was a really like fun popcorn kind of movie.
Oh,
yeah,
totally.
yeah, it was fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, this fits perfectly for summer blockbuster.
But it came out in February though. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm saying it fits perfectly in
I saw this one on
summer
a date.
blockbuster. Nice. It came out the 18th of February, 2022.
yeah, I think it was
Still did
supposed
pretty
to
well.
happen. I think it was supposed to come out in the summer at one point, but then everything got delayed. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seem to remember it was
right.
supposed to be like July of 21 or something, and then they pushed it back there.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. My number 2. Not the best film, but boy, do I love it, and there's one specific reason why.
Do you like
There
the
was
actress in it?
because I love the actress in it. No one was hotter in 2001 than Angelina Jolie. And no one was hotter as Laura Croft or will be hotter than Angelina Jolie in Laura Croft Tomb Raider.
Laura, it's Lara Croft.
No, it's Laura here.
It's
It's
Lara.
Laura. It's Laura in the UK in the USA.
Is it?
Laura Croft. We don't pronounce the necessarily the U in Laura, so it's all Laura to us.
No, it's spelled Laura.
I know, and Laura is spelled Laura, but we're not saying the U part, Laura. It's just Laura, Anyway, it's
the only
number
good thing about this
2.
movie for me is Daniel Craig is the villain. That's the only good part about the movie for me.
Yeah, Daniel Craig's in here. Also, who was what's his name? It's
Ian Glenn from Game of Thrones.
Ian Glenn.
Noah Taylor from Almost Famous.
Who's the other baddie in this
Mr.
movie?
Fantastic from the 2005 movie, Fantastic Four. I can't pronounce his name.
I've seen the Butler in the Flash at a convention. He's in one of my favorite sitcoms ever, Red Dwarf.
Anyways, so yeah, what we have here is Laura Croft, where she
remember,
races
she's British, so you have to pronounce it the British way. It's Lara.
This is an American release movie, so
I need to get my friend Sean here to tell you that it's Lara.
Is he UK as well?
He goes to Lara. He goes to Tomb Raider conventions and everything. He's a massive fan. He's met women who have voiced her in the game. I'm pretty sure he'd love to meet Angelina and Alicia.
Yeah, well, Angelina is badass.
She is.
And she did some of her own stunts in this movie, really worked hard for it, got in great shape. She asked her dad to be a part of it.
Is the actor you're thinking of, Justin?
What is his name?
Julian Rent-Tut. He was on yes, that's it. He was in a series with Rowan Atkinson called Man vs. Bee.
Never heard of it, but I love Rowan.
Yes, you'll have to check it out.
Some Rowan.
Yeah, if you're just bored a day and you don't fancy a movie, just watch all of Man vs. Bee. It's just hilarious.
This year, when it came out in 2001, was this she came the year before to Comic-Con in San Diego, and that's where I lived at the time. And she was there, and I got to see her in person. I was right in the front row, and it was one of the best experiences
Did
ever.
you get to meet her and get your picture taken with her and get an autograph off her?
Would I like to?
No, did you?
No, I did not. But yeah, obviously this movie sparked a sequel. We already talked about who directed it earlier. This director directed Con Air and The General's Daughter before Lara Croft Tomb Raider. And then after has done The Mechanic and The Expendables 2, Stolen, Wild Card. So he likes to do sort of action movies.
Yeah. Oh, Simon West is a brilliant director.
Yeah, Simon West. Yeah, this was a huge movie for me. I watched it a few times in theaters, and there was one main reason, and it was Miss Angelina Jolie.
He's mainly been working in China.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Have you seen this movie, Josh?
Yeah, I was not kind on it. It's not bad, but it's not great.
I don't like the sequel to this movie.
Yeah, and compared to the sequel and even the remake, it's better. It's not a high bar though. It's just not that good.
This is the best of the
It's
three.
a little over the top with the action at points.
Yeah. I did like the 2018 one. That would be a honorable mention for me.
I think this one did really well with its gameplay because I've definitely played this game. Yeah, I mean, she has to go and find these ancient artifacts before these other villains do, just like in the game.
One of the game actresses is one of the characters in Grey's Anatomy, the TV show.
Oh, cool.
My mum loves Grey's Anatomy.
Popular show. It's been around for like 20 seasons or something.
How do they not run out of material?
Well, yeah, I guess that they base it off of a lot of real things that happen at hospitals, so I'm sure it just never ends.
Really? So doctors do like have flings with each other and fall in love with each other?
Yeah, I was meaning mostly the emergencies, but yeah, that happens.
Fair enough.
$115 million budget, worldwide gross 274.7. IMDb gives it a 5.7. Rotten Tomatoes 20% with the audience score 47.
All right, yeah, sounds right.
I think this was pre Rotten Tomatoes anyway.
Nice.
All right, number 2 for you, Rob.
My number 2, a really good thing. It's one of my favorite Disney movies ever. It has cameos from various characters, so it can exist in its own canon to create all these characters in. Wasn't big on the sequel, but boy, do I love this movie. It makes me cry at the end, and I do love its message and his slogan from the start of the movie. It's Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, that's on my honorable mention list. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen this one, Justin?
Oh yeah, tell us about it.
So Wreck-It Ralph is a villain who's bored of getting villain because they all see him as a villain when deep down inside he's this really nice, caring person, and he wants to prove that he's not the villain, he is the game, he's a nice person that people should see him as. So he goes to a game to become a hero and ends up in another game and discovers that and meets with this character Vanellope, and they form this really good friendship. One of the things I like about this friendship is the fact that they are both male and female friends who don't have any love or sexual relation with each other, and that's what I like about this character dynamic. I know Vanellope, I've heard people say, oh, she comes off a bit annoying, and I get that, but I love Sarah Silverman, I love John C. Reilly, and it's fun seeing them play these characters. And I think this is the first time Alan Tudyk has been in a Disney movie.
Trying to think back, was he? Yeah, I think he was, and then he's been in one ever since.
Yeah, he's he's the new John Ratzenberg.
Yeah, well, he's Disney's first. Yeah, because in 2013 he was the Duke, and then in Frozen, and then what was after that? 2014 was Big Hero 6. He was Alistair Cray in Big Hero 6, and then in Zootopia he was Duke Weaselton, which was a reference to his character in Frozen. And then Moana, he was the chicken. He was in Wreck-It Ralph too as well. He was Nosemore, so he came back and was playing the same character. He keeps coming back to do stuff. So.
You said it was his first Disney one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was also K2SO in Rogue One.
Yes. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
He is fantastic. He's great.
But I think like this was the first time I watched a Disney film after I turned 18. And why it kind of made me realise is I can still like these kind of movies as an adult, and I still stick by that today. Like when I say, "Oh, I'm looking forward to this," I'm not ashamed of saying that I'm looking forward to a film aimed at children, because at the end of the day, as Guillermo del Toro says, animation is not just for kids.
Yeah. Exactly. Because that Pinocchio movie was dark, as it should be. The original story.
Anything else about Wreck-It Ralph?
I like the Owl City song at the end.
Yeah.
That song rules.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I didn't really like the sequel. I think this would have been better as a one-hit wonder, and I'm glad Josh agrees with me.
The second one has a terrible message too.
It does actually. More
children getting that unsupervised. Okay. Yeah.
Well, it's also weird. Another title they just should have called Ralph Breaks the Internet. But Minnie Kaling's also in this. Joe Latrulio, Ed O'Neill, who's in Finding Dory voicing, Skylar Astin, Adam Carolla. Directed by Rachel Moore.
He started on The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You know me, Justin, I'm a massive Simpsons fan.
Yeah, I know you're a massive Simpsons fan. Same director as Zootopia and Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Yeah, Zootopia is probably his best.
Yeah.
That's a good one. 7.7 on IMDb. I think that's the highest so far. 165 million. Worldwide gross is 471.2. 87% on Rotten Tomatoes with the 86% audience score.
And lost the Oscar to Brave.
Right. Even Frankenweenie lost to Brave. How? How did Pirates, Band of Misfits, Frankenweenie, and Wreck-It Ralph all lose to Brave? It baffles me.
Yeah, it baffles me as well.
All right. We're down to number one.
Yeah, and then we have the honorable mentions. This is number one on the main list. So.
Yes.
Yeah. My number one. I don't know if this is a hot take or not, so get prepared. Prince of Persia.
Okay. That's it.
Oh my God. I can't believe you were getting on me about Super Mario Bros. And Prince of Persia is your number one?
Okay. Why do you not like Prince of Persia?
It's horrible. It is trash.
I thought it was great though. It's got a really fun story with great world building. I thought Jake Gyllenhaal had a really good dynamic with Scott
Miscast
in it as the villain. Like I thought it was fantastic.
Ben Kingsley is when he's a villain, it is the best casting choice. He's the best thing about the Thunderbirds movie.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal was miscast though.
He was.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, that I agree with, but he did a good job putting it together. It's a fun movie. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's still one of Jerry Bruckheimer's better movies. I mean, nothing can be worse than Pirates of the Caribbean 3. So.
From the same director as Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire and Four Weddings for a
that's the best Harry Potter movie, so makes sense.
Yeah.
Have you played the game, Prince of Persia?
Yes and no. My dad had a BlackBerry, like and we're talking like handheld BlackBerry. This was probably around like 2006, and it was one of those when there was like a 8-bit platformer. But I haven't played any of the recent ones, so I'm slightly familiar. But it was just one of those like run and jump and collect the fruit and get the enemies. But I don't think there was a story to it though.
Yeah, it does have its moments. It's
Yeah.
got some cool production
Alfred
design,
Molina is brilliant in it.
as he always is. Gemma Arterton's in it, who was in the Bond movie.
Yes.
Yeah, and then that's it. Just who we talked about. Oh, Toby Kebbell.
Oh yeah. I do not like him in Fantastic Four.
I love Toby Kebbell.
That's Dr. Nim. Yeah, not in Fantastic Four though.
No. Kong Skull and the Dead Man's Shoes, definitely. And Rock and Roller.
Same director as Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Yep.
Which is the best one. So
Mona Lisa Smile. Pushing Tin, Donnie Brasco.
I need to see Donnie Brasco. I keep meaning to watch that one.
And then lots and lots and lots of TV. Yeah, he likes Gyllenhaal, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it needed
Needed a bit of an oomph.
I think it needed, something else to keep us engaged, and also I think the directing was the worst part. Like it should have had a different director.
it was fun.
Do you think he's better at Harry Potter films, Justin?
I guess if we're going just based off of his filmography, yeah, the best thing he's done is Harry Potter. But Prisoner of Azkaban is number 3.
Weddings and a funeral.
Isn't Prisoner of Azkaban the best Harry Potter movie though?
No, because I think it's good, and then the second half happens with the time travel, and then you get a lot of problems with that. It seems like you wrote yourself into a corner, and it's like, I'm just going to use time travel to fix everything, and then never do it again. Like, okay.
I think there's like some law in the background saying that they were only allowed to use it once.
Yeah, she was so. She added so many complicated twists into it that she's like, how do I handle this?
JK, I could moan about J.K. Rowling all day, but I don't think she's a good writer.
No, she had a good, interesting world, but sometimes it went, I wrote myself into a corner.
Yeah, she does that a lot. I've noticed.
What's better, Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, or John Carter?
Ooh.
I need to see John
Carter.
Carter.
Definitely, yeah.
They're similar.
Yeah.
Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time came out in 2010. 6.6 on IMDb. Let's see. Budget $200 million budget. That's a huge one. 336.3 worldwide. So it maybe made its money back if you don't account for marketing. 37% on IMDb or on Rotten Tomatoes with a 58% audience score.
Ooh.
Audience is always loving it more.
Yeah.
That's good though. That's a good number one, and I think everyone's heard of that game. That's a good video game. It's like the same sort of. It's like an Assassin's Creed before Assassin's Creed.
Which is also.
Where did Assassin's Creed land on your list?
It's in the top 10, but not the top 5. I think it was like number 7. I think. So.
All right. Okay. My number 1 is probably a movie that doesn't hold up, but I've seen it 100,000 times. It's a sweet little road trip movie,
The Wizard?
and it's all about trying to get to the ultimate video game championship.
That's on the honorable mentions, but it's not in the top 5. And the reason
It's The Wizard.
Yay! Brilliant. And it's about autism, so I can forgive you for watching music. The Wizard has a better representation of it.
Yeah, it's just really great. I mean, there's stuff that we hadn't seen yet. Like, we play video games so much, and then like we see all this cool stuff on this movie, and it's like, I want to go play that, and I want to be a part of that tournament. And you always think that you can be, better than the people who are actually playing it. But it's a sweet little film, and it's about family and sticking together, and about getting
Nintendo worked on the movie to sell some of their products, so technically it's an advert.
It's a commercial for Super Mario 3.
Yeah, which is arguably one of the best games ever made. Directed by a much younger Tom Holland, or Todd Holland, but starring Fred Savage, who was huge for TV shows, and now he's directing and stuff. But Luke Edwards, who played Jimmy, his brother, and then Jenny Lewis, but also Beau Bridges is in this movie. Christian Slater,
brilliant.
Yeah.
I like the lad with the glove.
Yeah, so that thing was amazing. That is exactly what we want, just play all that. But you've seen this movie, Josh?
Yeah, that was actually the first one I did the list. It was around the same time as Tron, so I didn't care for it as much. I do kind of enjoy it. It is very similar to Ferris Bueller to some degree, because you have the group of kids ditching to go somewhere, the insurance officer chasing them. It's very much like that, but it wasn't as fun as Ferris Bueller, though. But I just felt like I was watching a very long commercial for Nintendo.
Oh, Justin, do you want to hear something interesting about this movie?
Yeah, tell me.
It's shot by Robert Yeoman, who shoots the Wes Anderson movies.
Oh, nice. That's very interesting. This director also directed Krippendorf's Tribe. Oh my God, nobody's even seen that. And then a bunch of TV series. He did an episode of Friends. Very nice. But Fred Savage was huge because of his TV show at the time, and he was in Little Monsters with Howie Mandel. I just love this movie, and then we played so much Super Mario Brothers, the third one, because the tail where you can fly, the foxtail, is just amazing. It came out in 1989, sitting at 6.0 on IMDb. Box office of $6 million. Worldwide gross is 14.2, so it definitely made its money back. 27% on Rotten Tomatoes, 59 audience score. And it's great for the whole family. Like, kids can watch it, parents.
Sure. No, it is a bit dated, but like, okay, I don't know if it holds up as much now this year, because they don't know what the Super Nintendo is. It's for these kids. So, I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't think it holds up, probably. But
yeah. Okay, so did we do honorable mentions as well, which were movies that weren't directly based off of games, but had like games in them, or no, I know when we did that? There's a lot of your ones on your list were ones I put on my honorable mention list instead of the main list.
Yeah.
Cool.
Really my honorable mentions were Wreck-It Ralph, Jumanji, Ready Player One, Free Guy, and Tron Legacy.
Nice.
All right. Well, before we jump to that, Rob, what do you got for your number one?
I'm sorry, Josh, and I'm sorry, Justin. It's Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Oh, boy.
Well, it's not a terrible movie, but it's not great.
Tell us about Sonic 2.
Well, you see, Justin, I do like the first Sonic movie, but my two favourite characters from the games are Tails and Knuckles, and seeing them in the movie was awesome. And we finally get to see Jim Carrey, not just with the mustache, but with the bald head. And if he comes back for the third one, I want him to be in the fat suit.
Okay,
so this is...
The first act of the movie is pretty good. The third act of the movie is pretty good. But the entire second act is such a slog to get.
Yes. That is the only issue I have with this movie is the B plot, because James Marsden is dragged to his sister-in-law's wedding, and she's marrying this Sherman Moore from what's that? Criminal Minds. Yeah, the guy from Criminal Minds. And all of a sudden, as soon as Sonic gets the wedding, he's like, yeah, this wedding is fake, I'm a spy.
Also, there's that thing where it's like he suddenly can't run on water, and like that was never established in anything. Like,
He can drown, but he can't. Yeah, he can. He
Yeah,
can
like
drown.
you didn't set this up in the first movie or this movie, and now suddenly he's afraid of water. You never set this up. That's out of nowhere. So,
Yeah, yeah. I understand it might have some like little nitpicks. I need to watch both movies again, but I just really just found this to be a really good time, and I also love the song, the Bruno Mars song, Uptown Funk, and it was
I
funny
know what
seeing
movie
Sonic
it is.
and Tails dance this song.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's time they could have spent better by talking more about the Chaos Emeralds and the lore of Sonic instead of dance party to songs that are going to be good. I don't know. Use their time in the second act a little bit better.
But you gotta have something to entertain the kids for a bit. I mean, come on, RRR has a really cool song and dance number halfway through.
Yeah,
Sonic, more films should have random dance and singing throughout the movie. That's how Hollywood should do their
the
blockbusters
story of
now.
the
Just
kids.
have a random musical number halfway through.
Well, see, I've seen a few episodes of Sonic X, which was the cartoon they did around like early 2000s.
I
They should have
not
took more from
fan.
that.
I prefer the '90s cartoon with Scratch and Grounder, and I want to see them brought
Yeah,
to live action. Come on, Jim Carrey should make two henchmen called Scratch and Grounder, and
yeah.
they should try and find
Who do we think should play Shadow in the third one?
Glenn Howerton and John. No, yeah, Nick Kroll and John Mulaney must play them too.
Shadow? John Mulaney? Shadow? I don't know. I don't think he can.
No, Scratch and Grounder. It should be John Mulaney and Nick Kroll.
As Shadow? I don't
No,
think
not
No,
he-
he's
Shadow.
talking about a different thing
Scratch and
altogether now.
Grounder from the original.
Oh,
cartoon.
no, sorry, yeah. Sorry. Yeah,
Did
that
they-
I'm okay with, yeah.
Yeah, Nick Kroll and John Mulaney should play them too.
I think Jason Momoa would be a good Shadow the Hedgehog.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you texted me that the other day, and I
Yeah,
was
but when they
thinking,
cast Winter Soldier with Knuckles, I went, that's not the obvious choice, but yet somehow that is the correct choice. And it worked. So,
definitely.
Cool. Well, it's a fun movie, and yeah, Idris Elba's great addition, and yeah, who doesn't love Tails? Again, when you get
Yeah.
that tail and you can fly, it's
those
amazing.
are- yeah.
Yes.
6.5 on IMDb, and its budget was 110 million. Worldwide gross 405.4. That's a big one. 69% on Rotten Tomatoes with a 96% audience score. 2 hours and 2 minutes though. That's a little
Yeah, it's a lot longer than it needs to be. And we've already said that. It's that middle act
Yeah.
that just needed to be cut a lot. So,
Cool. So Josh, you said you're also Rams. You had some Wreck-It Ralph on there.
yeah. Then Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle because that is inside the world of video game.
Yeah.
And then Ready Player One, Free Guy, and Tron Legacy.
Nice.
Tron Legacy, yeah.
I need to see Tron Legacy.
As Top Gun Maverick.
Yes.
So, which is a shame that he's not coming back to direct the third one. The third one got a very safe choice. They got the same guy that did Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, and that's not a terrible movie, but it's a very safe movie. It was a very safe choice when you could have gotten Top Gun Maverick guy who made one of the movies that was beloved by both critics and audiences and made a ton of money, and you're not going to get him back for the third one. That makes no sense to me. So,
Yeah. He's better at sequels than original movies.
yeah.
Do you have any also Rams, Rob?
Yes, I do. I have a guilty pleasure of Spy Kids 3 Game Over.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. Tomb Raider, the one with Alicia Vikander, I thought that was fun, and felt a bit more like the video games.
Yeah.
And it's a shame they're not like making a franchise out of it. So I thought,
What are they talking about? If they announced a sequel when that one
no,
came
they're
out,
doing it as a Amazon series now.
Yeah, it didn't do well.
Yeah.
yeah, maybe it'll work better as a show. I don't know. This Assassin's Creed's being a show, and I think it probably would have worked better as a show because I thought, even though it's fun to watch, it is very rushed.
Yeah.
So I think the Netflix show might be a lot better when it ends up coming out.
Pixels is an honorable mention.
That was also on that list, yeah.
Yes. And there's one by David Cronenberg I'd like to see, which stars Jude Law, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and Christopher Eccleston. I think it's called Existence.
I've never heard of that one. That's the game?
It's based off a game. It's probably not Josh's cup of tea, but it looks. Well, I like David Cronenberg because he's very weird and he has a good imagination.
Came out in 1999. Video game designer has created a virtual reality game called Existence. After a crazed fan attempts to kill her, Allegra goes on the run with Jude Law in an attempt to save her game. Things happen and they become friends. Ooh, they don't.
Has Sarah Polley, who recently directed Women Talking.
The new Academy Award winner, Sarah Polley.
Yes.
All right, couple of also rans. Grandma's Boy, which is about developing video games, is a ton of fun. It's the same production company as Happy Madison, so it's all of his friends
is that the
together.
one that stars his mate, who's always in his movies?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really ridiculous, but a lot of fun. And he has to stay with his grandma and her roommates, which are all old ladies, and they somehow help him get to where he needs to be in this
That sounds fun.
world. It is very ridiculous, but a lot of fun. I also have Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle on there, and then I like the first Sonic for sure. There you go.
Nice.
There you go. All right, Josh, now we do our recommendations of the week right now. Do you have a movie that you've seen recently that you want to recommend to everybody?
Based on the list, I mean, there are a few on here that didn't quite squeeze into the top
Well,
five.
just something that you've seen recently that you think you just want to recommend.
Dungeons and Dragons, that was fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. I hear it's really, really funny.
Yes. I've seen that movie the weekend.
Monster Hunter, that was another video game movie I watched recently that I thought was pretty decent for what it was. I thought Monster Hunter was kind of fun. It didn't go as far as it as it should have, but I enjoyed it though. Max Payne as well. That was another one that I thought was really good. Warcraft as well.
I want to see Warcraft because it's by David Bowie's son.
Oh boy, that's a tough one, guys.
Yeah.
That one's tough to watch.
Nice. You ready for my recommendation, Justin?
Yeah. Is it also Dungeons and Dragons?
Well, because Josh has recommended it, I'm going to recommend something else, and something that I thought was the best movie I've seen all year so far. I know this is the same thing we've seen 3 times, but the 4th time was fantastic, and it's John Wick Chapter 4. I love this movie. It really ends some really good story arcs and character arcs, but still opens up the universe to so much more. I'd like to see more characters in this universe. I want to see more action. I want to see good storytelling. I want to see more world building. Just because one character story arc has come to an end doesn't mean that the world is completely shut. It's a brand new world.
They're doing this with Ana de Armas called The Ballerina. They're doing a movie on that.
Yes. Ana de Armas is going to be playing the ballerina soon.
Yep.
What are we talking about?
John Wick Chapter 4.
She's playing ballerina?
Yeah.
They're doing a movie about her, yeah.
Yeah, did you see, the third one, the ballerina that dances on the stage when he meets Angelica Hudson? Yeah, it's a spin-off with her. De Armas is playing that character and they're making a spin-off. It's a really good world that you could do a lot with.
No. Oh, God.
You think the franchise lives and dies with Keanu?
No, I think we just need to move on and find something else. Let's just find something else, guys. Like Josh.
You want a brand new assassin and a brand new crime world?
Well, I was looking at the list of Lions movies coming out. I know they were supposed to get another trailer for the Hunger Games sometime this week. It's like, when would they release it? And I saw that John Wick Chapter 5 is also in development on their upcoming movies list. So
I think they did 4 and 5 back to back, so that's something that I heard. But I'm just it's just like you guys were just talking about, like create something new. Like Hollywood has died. You know, they don't know what to do. Like this is proving it even more.
I don't know. Everything everywhere all at once is a brand new idea.
Yeah, that's great. Let's do stuff like that.
Promising Young Woman was a brand new idea. This Dungeons and Dragons movie, it might be adapted from a game, but it's a brand new story.
Yeah. You can go in not knowing anything about it, and I had a really good time with that one. So
it's already been a movie twice, so
it works as a fantasy movie like on its own. It's Dungeons and Dragons because they made that name recognition. But if you didn't call it Dungeons and Dragons, it was the exact same movie. It would still work.
It would still work if you just called it Honor Amongst Thieves.
Yeah, it's just Python, Princess Bride, and Willow, the movie, not that garbage show, thrown into the blender. It was fantastic. So, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see how Ballerina does.
It's written by Emerald for now, so it should be touch wood good if her first movie won Best Original Screenplay.
But it wasn't about action. That's tough. That's tough to write about.
She's also written for the show Killing Eve, which is a well-known action show. So I think she knows how to write action.
Action? If it's a well-known action show, I think I would know about it.
You don't know about Killing Eve?
I know about the show. Never heard it has like action in it, like it's a The Boys TV show.
I'm assuming it does. If it's about two spies trying to kill each other, there'll be loads of action in it.
No, like look at all those detective shows. Like just because there's murder doesn't mean there's action in it. Like Law and Order, what do they do? Just run across the screen for 5 minutes? That's not that's not action. Anyway, I already talked about it. I'll just recommend Grandma's Boy. It is very, very fun and funny and ridiculous. And yeah, if you guys like the Happy Madison and Adam Sandler movies, then this is right up your alley. Linda Cardellini is also in it, who is like the best. She's always like the mom, the wife in a movie. Joel David Moore's in it. Doris Roberts, Jonah Hill, Nick Swartzen. So it's names that we know. Go check it out. It's on Philo, which is a streaming service, I guess, and then you can rent it for about $4. I think it's worthy of $4. Cool. What are we doing next week, Rob?
Next week, let's do the idea I suggested. Our top 5 favorite films by not one but 2 directors.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of those, yeah. There's the Lego movie, there's Spider, but there's a ton. Like, those are actually the same directors. But yeah, there's a ton of those.
Yeah.
These guys. That's another 2. A lot of animated movies have 2 directors, so it might be a lot of animated movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll make a resurgence.
Maybe.
Cool. Well, we'll do that then.
The Russo brothers, they did Winter Soldier. And the Wachowskis got The Matrix, which is probably their only good movie. But
well, and obviously Joel and Ethan Coen are 2 of my favorite directors.
Yeah.
What about Starred and Lord? What they're Phil Lord and something?
I said that. I said Spider-Verse and Lego movie.
Yeah. And the Lego movie, yeah.
Yeah. They're good.
Very cool. Well, Josh, this was amazing. Thank you so much for coming on. You're very knowledgeable about films and especially video game films.
Some of these were painful, so.
What was some that you watched for the first time?
The majority of them. Because I tried to do this several times. I tried to do this when Uncharted came out and Sonic. I was in school at the time, so I didn't have time to do all of them. But the majority of them that I watched the first time was Ratchet and Clank, which I enjoyed more than I thought I was going to. Let me look at the list here. That I watched for the first time. The Wizard was the one that I watched for the first time. Final Fantasy Spirits Within was another one I watched for the first time. I think that was it. I think that was in Monster Hunter.
Well, if anything, they need to make a Crash Bandicoot movie and a Spyro movie.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we didn't mention any Resident Evil movies, but that franchise is fun.
There's like 10 of those.
Yeah, I
There's
enjoy
also
it.
a couple of direct-to-video Halo movies, but no, I prefer the show. The show was better, so I enjoyed the show.
Nice. And then you have a YouTube channel that people can follow you and see your reviews.
Yeah, I'm going to be putting out my Ranking Evolved video reviews, not just the ones we talked about, because there's like 30 something on that list. So it's a big number. That'll be up sometime next week. And depending on what's covered at Star Wars Celebration, I don't know if there's going to be any trailer reactions. It depends, because last year they didn't really do a lot. So we got the teaser trailer for Andor, and that was pretty much it. So depending on if we get any trailers during Star Wars Celebration this week, I might do some coverage of that.
And where? What's the YouTube channel? Where can they find it?
Josh Hickey's movie reviews and fandom. It might take a while to find it out. So I think Robbie, you can link to it in the description of the video.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I can send you a link to it, Justin. I've been following Josh for years. I can't remember what the first review I saw of his was.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And Rob?
Yes. So you can find me on. I have a YouTube channel which I do this podcast on. I keep make new videos. I'm trying to relaunch my filmmaking career again, so I might try and make the odd short film or the odd video essay, and still do stuff with you guys as well. So yeah, it should. So hopefully I've got some ideas for this channel. But if you want my social media links, check me out on Facebook. I run a fantasy film awards called the Fleming Film Awards. We've obviously spoken about it here. Josh has presented a nomination category for me, and you've hosted it with me twice, Justin. And we're going back through the 60s at the moment, and we're doing the year of 1968, the same year as Oliver, 2001: Space Odyssey, Rosemary Baby, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Planet of the Apes. Really good year for popular movies, actually, the more I think about it.
Yeah, in fact, my sister, she loved the Batman, and so I told her, well, Matt Reeves, you got to watch it. So I said, before you watch the Planet of the Apes movies that he did, you got to watch the original. And she was kind of skeptical. She's like, well, it came out in the 60s, but she ended up loving it. I was like, yeah, it's a fantastic movie. It's got a really great twist. And it's like, trust me, you got to watch the original because you'll appreciate the prequels that much more. And then she went, yes, thank you for showing me the original first, because I would not have appreciated those as much. Because there's little Easter eggs that reference the original.
Yeah,
so yeah, those are great.
And also Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, TikTok. I'm on all there as well. Normally I would read out the Letterboxd scores as well when Justin's doing it, but I didn't have my phone on me, so I couldn't look at the Letterboxd score.
And then in June, I think we're all gonna come together again in June when the Flash comes out. It's the multiverse movie because Michael Keaton is coming back with Batman. So we should probably do our top 5 DC, not just DCEU, but just DC.
Okay, but a lot of the ones I like are R-rated. Just sorry,
Yeah.
Josh.
Well, no, I looked at the ones that there's only like 5 out there that are rated R though. So the majority of them are still pretty good. So, and let me clarify, once they were theatrically released, because there's literally hundreds of animated direct-to-video ones. Let's just stick with the ones that were. You can do animated ones.
I'd love to do an episode dedicated to animated DC films.
There's literally like 4 months worth of them if you were to do one of those. It's
yeah, definitely, and they're all better than DC League of Super Pets.
Yeah, and then depending on when it comes out, because they keep saying this is a movie that's going to come out this year, Miraculous Ladybug. I think we might want to do some coverage on that show whenever that movie comes out, hopefully at the end of this year. So.
What movie?
Miraculous Ladybug. Yeah. It's on Disney Plus if you have it. So
nice.
The first 4 seasons of season 5 is currently airing, so they're saying they want to get the movie out at the end of season 5. So it's like if you put Kim Possible and mixed it with Batman, the animated series, kind of, which is funny because the voice of Ladybug is actually playing Catwoman in the Cape Crusader show that's coming out to Amazon. So.
Oh, nice.
Which is funny because her crime fighting partner, who was a cat superhero is in love with the ladybug superhero, who's not in love with the cat superhero, but now she's playing with the cat superhero. So I just kind of found that a little bit funny.
Nice. Nice.
Full
Well,
circle.
nice. Well, I think that's about it for today. Thank you for coming on today, Josh. We're hoping to have you back hopefully sooner rather than later next time.
Yeah, maybe in June, because that seems like the next one. We could actually, there's several in June. We could do like June, and then I know it's weird, but Barbie as well.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
Yes,
Yeah,
we'll
so
have-
there's some talent behind those. Like Martin Short is the villain in one of them, and then we've got Anjelica Houston's the villain in another one. So there's some good talent in those, at least in some of the early ones. So
Definitely.
Cool.
Cool.
yeah,
Well, yeah, go check out Josh's stuff. Go check out Rob's stuff. Check out mine at Worth the View Movies and all the things. Tell us your favorite video game movies here down in the comments. Like and subscribe. And we will do this again next week. Until then,
Until then, bye, guys.
bye-bye.